Hi, my name is Simone and I'm the Zen Mommy. And today I want to talk about emotional energy and clearing energy in your home, sacred space, and your aura. So I am inspired to do this topic because of my emotional healing group session that I'm having this weekend. There are still spots available. Um, It is on November 14th at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for the new moon. It'll be a new moon ceremony. And this will actually be my first event. And it is at a discounted rate of $11.11. And for all those who attend, I have a handmade gift for them that I will be mailing to you as a thank you for joining my first healing session. And it is something that will be on my store, my metaphysical spiritual store. So if you're interested, sign up on my calendar. I will link it in the below, and I'll also link it in the comments. And and let's get back to the topic. Okay, so I wanted to talk a little bit about emotional energy. So emotions, number one, are energy. And it's very important to clear energy in a space and around, especially in your space in your home. Number one, when we have an intense emotion, okay, because what I'm doing is, this event of an emotional healing. So maybe if you're coming to this healing session, if you've been dealing with some intense emotions coming up. So let's just say if the emotion was grief, sadness, pain, fear, anger, and you experienced it. Let's just say you experienced in your home. You had a moment where maybe you had a moment where some old traumas came up and you started to cry and get really really emotional, and you happen to be in your bedroom when you did it, or maybe you were in the bathtub when you did it, or maybe you're in the living room. Wherever this intense emotion happened, that residual energy of that emotion is still floating in your space, and the energy can float there for years. It actually has to be cleaned out. And so it's very important, like when you're doing this emotional healing work, is that you're constantly working to purify your energy and clear out your aura. On top of your own emotional energy, think about the family members you live with, or whoever lives in your household. If they had an emotional energy, let's say your child threw a tantrum, and they threw a tantrum, was really really angry, and so now that energy is now floating around the home. And so now you can see what I'm talking about, how this energy can build up. Another thing that can happen is, okay, so our auric field is around us. It expands about 6 feet out. And our aura holds all this information. It holds all these emotions. It holds trapped emotions, old pains that you haven't dealt with. It holds your history, things that happen in your childhood. So whatever you're dealing with is a part of your energy, a part of your auric energy. And so not only you have this, everyone around you have this 6 feet of an aura around them. So when you leave the house, let's say you go to the grocery store, the person you pass by when you park into the parking lot, the checker, the person when you're walking by the veggie section and there's people trying to pick broccoli out next to you, your auras are pretty much kind of fusing with theirs for a minute. So if they're having so if they're going through something, let's say they're dealing with some toxic emotions, maybe some anger, a lot of pain, some of that residual energy will stick kind of to your aura. If you go to work every day, if the mailman comes by to deliver a package, if you do, that energy can be on a package. If you hire DoorDash, I know with me and my husband recently had an experience where we ordered a DoorDash, and it got there to our home, And the moment it got there, there was a shift in energy. We were both kind of edgy, and we instantly knew it had to do with the door dasher. The door dasher was frustrated because they couldn't find our place, and so that frustration rubbed off on us, and we quickly noticed because everything we were like doing fine. Then all of a sudden, I was frustrated about the order, that they did it wrong again. And I'm like really upset because I wanted to eat. And so I had realized that this energy was connected. It was coming from. And so, and then my husband, he leaves for work every day and he deals with different customers. And then when he deals with them, he has to deal with their energy and their auric fields. So the first thing he does when he comes home every day is, he goes into the shower, he washes all the energy off, and I'll have to say, see, I had a vision a couple weeks ago about this. And in the vision, I saw the subtle energies floating around and they were everywhere. And it's very important to clear the energy, especially when you're working in emotional healing. You want to clear your space because some of these emotions that you might be feeling, it just might not be yours. So you want to make sure the energy you're dealing with is yours. So using things like sage, incense, binaural beats, sound instruments, like the crystal bowls. I played the buffalo drum that works really good for clearing energy, tuning forks. Or you can use things like salt. Okay. You can also use vocal toning. If you watch my video on vocal toning will also help clear the energy. It's really about setting positive intentions to ask this energy to leave, and it has to listen. And so, very important to do that. And for those who sign up for my event, I recommend that you try to do some type of energy clearing before the session. But if you're not successful, that's okay because I will be sending out a frequency that's going to clear the energy in your space that you're going to be working on this emotional healing with me. And let me see what else I wanted to say about that. I think that maybe I have covered it. Another thing, emotional energy, our own emotional, this is not really like 100% related to, well, it's kind of related, but in a different kind of way. I wanted to talk a little bit about a trapped emotion. So a trapped emotion is an energy that is stuck in our auric field. And it will be an emotion that you've experienced at some point in your life and you forgot about it. And you didn't really deal with it. You didn't face it. You didn't acknowledge it. And it kind of went into the shadows. So energy cannot be destroyed. This energy will be floating in your auric field. And so let's just say if this energy was anger, okay, and say you got really angry at something as a child, but you couldn't express it because maybe you were a child, you didn't want to get in trouble, so you decided not to deal with how angry you actually felt. This anger is still floating around, vibrating at a frequency in your auric field. And what happens is with this trapped emotion is it will vibrate it can vibrate. Let's just say you're having pain in your arm and your shoulder. Let's just say you're having pain in your shoulder. And you don't know why, that you just keep having this on and off pain. You think that maybe, you lifted something, but the truth really is you may have that trapped emotion of anger might be vibrating near the energy of your body. And what it does, it kind of distorts the energy and you can manifest pain, you can manifest sickness, disease, tumors. And until you, I guess, not I guess, but you have to uncover this trapped emotion. You have to kind of go back and realize, like, say today you were as a child, you got angry at your parents, you couldn't express it because you thought you were in trouble. You go back and you acknowledge that day. And once you acknowledge that day, you realize I was anger. You allow the feeling, you just allow it to kind of pass through you. You become aware and you acknowledge it. So a person that does have a trapped emotion that's still there, they're likely to have anger housed in them. So they get angry easily. Like say you're driving on the freeway and someone cuts you off and all of a sudden you're furious mad, or somebody does something to you that normally a person wouldn't get that mad about, but you get mad and you hold on to, you can't let go. That's because it's not that the person cut you off, it's that you actually have a trapped emotion of anger in you. So that anger manifests very easily. And so when dealing with healing these emotions, and in the trapped emotion, it'll come out in time. There's different techniques that you can work on trapped emotions. Or, when you notice that, let's just say you notice that I get angry really easy and I'm not sure where this is coming from. You can sit down and kind of meditate and kind of go into the shadow work, and, ask your subconscious to show you what it is. And if you meditate, the answer will come to you. And if not, you can always, get healing assistance with that. But the energy, emotion is an energy, and it vibrates through us. And when we're feeling, pain, sadness, these are all energies that we're feeling. And so rather the energy is ours or someone else's, is what this video is about, is we have to focus on clearing it so that we can focus on our energy, and specifically so we can, obtain our emotional healing. I'm going to end now. Thank you for watching. Peace and love. Namaste.